Once again, good morning, and welcome to the 115th consecutive Memorial Day Remembrance at Fort Rosecrans. My name is Brian Carveo, and I'll be the Master of Ceremonies. We are here today to pay tribute to all of the soldiers, sailors, elected in your program. Will the guests please rise and remain standing for the national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the invocation. Color guards, advance the colors.
Carry colors. Forward. Forward.
Yep. Roger. Hold on. Forward. Mark. Left. 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 Easy. Left. Left.
Forward, march, left, 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 right, 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 left, 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 right, 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 left, left.
Please join the Navy Region Southwest Band as they honor America by performing our national anthem. Please join State Assemblyman Brian Jones in reciting Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Brian. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Now I would ask Sergeant Major Bill Paxson to come up to recite a poem entitled Our Flag.
It's our flag, our country, our land. With our heroes we shall always stand as they deploy those faraway lands to destroy every terrorist band. Our stars and stripes is shining bright. Our flag is flying through the night. Our heroes move, but out of sight. except for the planes in constant flight. God bless the Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Air Force on the scene. Under God's almighty light, may it always beam. Freedom isn't free. Thank you.
Folks. Thank you.
Father Jim Boyd, Chaplain First, to the band representing Navy Southwest Region, thank you for your continued service and outstanding support. Next, a special thank you to the Navy Junior ROTC units from Grossmont High School and Patrick Henry High School, whose cadets are participating in today's ceremony, along with the local unit of the Young Marines that'll be they're also helping hand out water and programs today. Thank you. To Marical Construction, Patrick Henry High School ROTC unit, Mr. Phil Winter and Ms. Terry Covell, whose generous donations have helped us hold this ceremony. I'd also like to recognize the political and military leaders that are here in attendance with us today. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us, and thank you for your service. Finally, I'd like to welcome back Medal of Honor recipient Colonel Bob Mojoweski. Colonel Mojoweski received the Medal of Honor for his heroic actions in Vietnam in 1966. Colonel, it is our honor to have you with us here again today. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Al Rogeski, who will tell us about the meaning of military honors.
Military honors, they are very special because they have a lot of meaning. Today we will witness the 3 volleys. That is a ceasefire Civil War truce. But today most people refer them to as the 21-gun salute. 21 being the significant number that represents the year of our independence. When you add the numbers, 1776. The shell casings that are placed inside the flag represent that the veteran served in uniform, an honor so great that not even some of our ex-presidents would receive. Then we will hear the majestic sounds of taps. That is an indication that the day is done. The soldier's duty for the white, which represents the loyalty and the purity of the veteran. And that there isn't any red, because there is no more sacrifice. Our beautiful flag is the flag of the United States of America. It is a symbol of our freedom. And without our fine veterans' dedicated military service, we would not have that luxury today.
Thank you, sir. As you see in the front, the Marines and Mr. Jeff Simonides are presenting the flag to Gold Star mothers for the loss of their loved ones.
Years ago, hasn't it? The remaining renovation you see is for turf on the ocean side, and the brown spotted through the remainder of the cemetery is due to some recent treatments of the turf to continue to maintain the cemetery as a national shrine. Today, as we salute those who paid this ultimate price, we see our history in their ranks. From those Minutemen in their homespun clothing to the dedicated service members who wear our nation's uniforms in Afghanistan and Iraq. In these latest conflicts, thousands of names have been added to our nation's roster of honored dead while serving in operations Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom. Some 40 million Americans have served in wartime, and more than 1 million of them have given their lives for the cause of freedom. Why have so many willingly faced the horrors of war? Why did they leave the safety of home and family for the dangers of the battlefield? Why have so many of our veterans freely given their blood and their lives? It was not to seek personal gain or a path to fame. Their country called, and they answered. A simple patriotic response, which had such momentous consequences for their own lives and for the ultimate freedom we enjoy today as a result of their ultimate sacrifices. They have made in the defense of liberty. It is our duty to keep the memory of our fallen veterans alive. May we never forget those who have fought for our freedom, and may we celebrate the lives of those who have truly made America the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Jeff Simonides, Chairman of the Fort Rosecrans Memorial Day Committee.
I'd like to welcome everybody today and our friends and family. Today's a bittersweet day, as you can see, and again, I would
to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that.
Army of the Republic, General Orders Number 11, Washington, D.C., May 5th, 1868. 1. The 30th day of May, 1868, is designated for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion, and whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet churchyard in the land. In this observance, no form of ceremony is prescribed, but posts and comrades will in their own way arrange such fitting services and testimonials of respect as circumstances may permit. We are organized, comrades, as our regulations tell us, for the purpose, among other things, of preserving and strengthening those kind and fraternal feelings which have bound together the soldiers, sailors, and Marines who united to suppress the late rebellion.
Next we have DFW and Canto Post, 1512. Commander J.J. Bontas and Ladies Auxiliary President Rachel Luke. inmates. VFW Post 3787, Commander Jack Turner, Ladies Auxiliary Jan Elia. We have the Vietnamese community of San Diego.
Speaker. Captain Jonathan Spanner, United States Coast Guard, Commander, Coast Guard Sector San Diego. Captain Spanner is a graduate of the United States Merchant Marine Academy and Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He is a qualified C-130 and helicopter pilot. Prior to arriving in San Diego, he served as the director of the Coast Guard's Office of Emerging.
To the Department of Veterans Affairs, the Fort Rosecrans Memorial Day Planning Committee, what a great job you've done today. Let's give them a big round of applause. We heard from and about several veterans. We heard about the amazing plight of Gold Star mothers and Gold Star wives. I want to add to that. If you are a member of a military family, would you please stand up and let's give you a big round of applause. And then we have a number of veterans advocacy groups here today who are represented. It's hard to be inclusive, but I want to highlight a few. Rolling Thunder, the Wounded Warrior Project, the Elks, the VFW, the Disabled Veterans of America. There's a number of these groups, even the Daughters of the American Revolution I've seen here. These are all wonderful people who support the cause of those who fell in action. Thank you very much for being here today. And finally, thank you. If you're a veteran of the United States Navy, would you please stand up? If you're a veteran of the United States Air Force, would you please stand up? If you're a veteran of the United States Coast Guard, would you please stand up? Did I forget any? Oh! If you're a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, would you please stand up? Okay. This speech is quite short, actually, but I think I'm going to hit on some important points, and I ask you to just bear with me for a few minutes. So, there's really no one who deserves to stand here and speak on these hallowed grounds on this story day. I am so very humbled and so very grateful for this opportunity. I want to tell you a story today, and this is a story of a young man who was actually born in Canada and eventually moved to the United States and decided to serve our country. But it's an American story. He was promoted rapidly up the enlisted ranks, and when called to duty, he went into action for our nation overseas. Confronting the fascist forces of a determined enemy, this first-class petty officer was in charge of a detachment of boats that were responsible for the delivery of United States Marines to combat. With his team on a fateful day, he was assigned with a harrowing mission and delivered the Marines to engage the enemy as he was charged. However, after successfully taking the Marines ashore, he learned that the conditions of combat were different, and I understand from historians much worse than reported. The Marines had to be evacuated immediately. The young man volunteered to go back into the fight and evacuate the Marines with his men and with his boats. He brought the boats to shore under heavy enemy fire, then proceeded to evacuate the Marines to the beach. When most of the Marines were in their boats, complications arose in evacuating the last Marines, who he realized would be in the greatest danger. Accordingly, he placed himself and his boats such that they would serve as cover for those last Marines to leave. During this action, which was protecting the Marines after he had evacuated them, this young man was fatally wounded. But he remained conscious long enough to utter 4 final words. And as he died, he said this. He asked, did they get off? His last 4 words were, did they get off? The year was 1942, but one of the Marines evacuated.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take a seat and join me in a round of applause for Mr. Yee.
Flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. But there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, but it's time we stand and say, sing with us. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you when defend her city. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you when defend her city. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Thank you.